All right, well, that wasn't a fun game to watch if you're a Packers fan. Definitely, not one of the best games to watch. With the Packers coming in at 5-1, you thought they would do a little bit better against a 1-5 Vikings team, but obviously Vikings pulled a win off, 28-22. So to see the Packers lose to a 1-5 team, definitely, not something you really want to see, and definitely, makes you question a lot of things. Definitely makes you question a lot of things. First off, of course, what we have to cover in this video is just how good Dalvin Cook was. He hadn't played in a few weeks because he had been injured in the Seahawks game a while ago. But then this week he comes in, and it was a really very, very cold game. In this one, winds up to like 40 miles an hour. And so he comes in and just runs all over the Packers. He had an insane game. His stats were crazy. He had 220 total yards, 4 total touchdowns. So he ran the ball 30 times for 163 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. And he had 63 receiving yards and 1 receiving touchdown. So he just came out here and just basically beat the Packers almost all by himself. Like Kirk Cousins barely had to do anything. Kirk Cousins was 11 for 14, 160 yards and 1 touchdown. So Kirk Cousins still played well, but he only had to pass the ball 14 times because Dalvin Cook basically just ran the entire show. And he was the first player ever in Lambeau Field to have 200 yards from scrimmage and score 4 touchdowns. So, obviously the Packers' run defense, definitely, there's lots of worries there. There's lots of things about that run defense that, if a guy can run for 200 yards on your run defense, that's not a good sign. It's not a good sign for your team. And so I think lots of people now are questioning Mike Pettin, as I have for a while now, ever since, for the past couple seasons, especially, last year in the NFC Championship when the Packers, got run over by the 49ers. And of course, we faced them on Thursday. So that's going to be a interesting game, definitely, to see if we can hold up against the 49ers, considering, we played very poorly against this Vikings team. So I think definitely, Packers really need to play well on Thursday to show, that they sort of have the team capable of going to the playoffs, winning some games, because, yes, this Packers team can play very well, but if we can give up games like this, then, that's a little worrisome going into the playoffs. So I'm just hoping that the Packers can show us something on Thursday. Hopefully we can, figure out this run defense. I don't know what the solution is. I'm not like some scout, some guy, like some defensive guru. I have no idea, what we need to do, so who knows what the Packers need to do. Maybe you're like a defensive guru. Maybe you need to, call Green Bay. Maybe you have some solutions for them. Maybe that could be a good idea. Who knows? So if you have some answers, why not give them a call? So then if we take a look at the Packers from the offensive side of the ball, so it was 28-22, still a pretty close game. Nonetheless, Aaron Rodgers, the Packers offense started off great. They had a great first drive with a touchdown to Davante Adams. Came back again, scored another touchdown to Davante Adams. So going into half, it was 14-14. The Packers obviously in the first half couldn't stop Dalvin Cook. That happened in both halves. But the Packers were moving the ball pretty well in the first half. But then coming into the second half, they had some troubles in the second half, converting some third downs, converting some fourth downs. And there was one series where Equanimeous St. Brown had like 2 drops. One was on third down, I'm pretty sure. And then one was a pretty solid throw by Aaron Rodgers to a touchdown to the end zone. And, he just didn't come up with it. So even though the Packers did move the ball, somewhat well in this game, there were definitely some times where it seems like this Vikings secondary was able to hold up against this Packers offense. And considering this Vikings defense had so many injuries at in their secondary at the cornerback position, I'm pretty sure they had 4 of their main starters out. It was something like that. So the fact that they were able to pretty much keep a lot of these receivers in check, besides Davante Adams, who ended up with 3 touchdown catches. So obviously they couldn't really contain Davante Adams, but outside of that, they were able to play pretty well against Aaron Rodgers. And honestly, I expected Aaron Rodgers to be able to do more against this secondary. And so I think that sort of begs the question, sort of regarding the receivers, because obviously, in the past few weeks, or the past week mainly, there's been lots of talk about the Packers possibly trading for a wide receiver. It's still potential. The deadline's November 3rd, so 2 days from now. They were in talks with Will Fuller. Maybe that'll happen. Who knows? But I think people now are seeing that the Packers really just need some more offensive talent, from the wide receiver position, because we got Devontae, and right now Allen Lazard is down. And besides those 2 guys, or besides Davante Adams right now, there's just not many other wide receivers who are really getting it done. And if the Packers could bring in a guy like Will Fuller, that would definitely, I think, help this offense definitely a lot. But overall, still, Aaron Rodgers had a great day, pretty much. 27 for 41, 291 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he still played well. But the main thing, this defense just couldn't hold Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook just went crazy in this game. But it did come pretty close near the end. The Packers ended up, getting a touchdown, so it goes to 28-22. They got a 2-point conversion, and then the defense actually did make a stop. So it happened maybe once, maybe it happened a couple more times, but they made a stop on third down. Aaron Rodgers got the ball back with a minute left, And unfortunately, you know, we moved the ball down the field to like, what was it, like the 40, 45 yard line. Last play of the game, Aaron Rodgers comes up, gets hit from behind, fumble, game over, so 28-22. So I think it's pretty important, you know, coming up with this game on Thursday versus the 49ers. We really need to see some improvement from this Packers defense, you know, to have some hope and some conviction for the Packers going into the playoffs. Because if we, you know, continue to play this way in certain games, it's just really worrisome, I think, because you don't know which team you'll get. If the Packers are down, who knows if they'll, you know, sort of flop like they did today versus Dalvin Cook and the Vikings. So that's going to be all for today's video. Just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a recap on this game, sort of what happened. You probably saw what happened, but just wanted to break it down a little bit. So that's going to be all for today. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like down below on this video. And if you want to see some more Packers content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. But thank you guys so much for watching. It's not exactly what we wanted to see, but, you know, hopefully the Packers can bounce back on Thursday versus this 49ers team. And as always, go Pack, go.